Hello and welcome along to Aston Villa from the stands. I hope you're well. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're watching this video. We've got some transfer talk. No, don't get excited. We're not linked to anyone. We haven't sold anyone. But there are rumours and there are conversations need to be had, as in the title of today's video. Marco Asensio heavily linked back to return to Aston Villa with a potential loan. What on earth happened to the Fenerbahce deal that seemed to be a done deal? And is he going to be a problem or a solution? Hear me out on this one. Next up, of course, as well, the key thing that keeps going around is why are there no links to any of the players that we are trying to get rid of? It is clear as day. Aston Villa simply cannot buy anyone until we sell. Can't buy anyone until we sell. So what is going on? Where are the links? Where are the rumours? Where are the players? That's where I'm at. I'm getting, again, as each day goes by, people are saying be patient. There's still a long way in the transfer window. That's fine. But again, I'm looking around me, and even the likes of Nottingham Forest, are bringing in a goalkeeper and Angus Gunn today. Just things like that are starting to irk me. So let's chat. Let's talk, and big up to each and every single one of you. As ever, if you don't agree with what I'm saying, still let me know your thoughts. If you do agree with what I'm saying, then of course share your thoughts as well. But let's talk real talk now. Marco Asensio. Really strange, this one, in my opinion. And let's be real on this one. That Fenerbahce deal, everyone basically assumed that Marco Asensio joined Fenerbahce. It was one of those Fabrizio Romano sort of puts out there, and again, it shows sort of Fabrizio Romano, etc., is, how reliable. We'll question that. But my point is this. I thought it was a done deal. Now, all of a sudden, we have Marco Asensio basically looking to come back to us. Now, before I sort of look at the conversation that's been had, is this a really weird situation? Are we seeing, again, a player like we always bantered João Felix for, who basically is twerking for everybody else and then eventually is going, do you know what Aston Villa will have to do? It absolutely frustrates the life out of me when I'm sort of seeing that vibe. If it was on for Fenerbahce and there's pictures and there's this rumours and there's these situations, then why on earth has he not gone there? And so I did some digging. So let's get straight into this one. I did some digging, and this was backed up again by this report. I saw similar things. Okay, I saw similar reports on this. Okay. Given we need to reduce our wage bill to comply with SCR, I don't know how signing Marco Asensio would fit into our summer plans, which is true. Depending on what you read, some are saying that the finances are what held up the Fenerbahce deal. Basically, we got someone very greedy. We got someone who wants, and we know has high-end tariff rages. So if Fenerbahce are struggling with the situation, if Fenerbahce are struggling to land a player like Marco Asensio, then what on earth are we doing going for a player like this? How is this deal going to work financially? That's the first thing. Because everyone who's coming to me and saying, but yes, and I did a poll, and I'm going to get my community post up. I want to know if people thought it's a good one. People who have been telling me about, we've got the shackles and chains on this transfer window. We've got that, we've got the shackles and chains on. Josh, we are limited in the business that we can do because of PSR and SCR. Well, all those people are saying that you can't have voted yes to Marco Asensio coming. You can't have. That's how I feel about it right now. If anyone who's been saying and making excuses for this transfer window about the PSR and SCR rules and what we're trying to comply against, then why are we sat here looking at a player like Marco Asensio, who's going to, again, only come on loan, not a permanent, and potentially, again, rock the wage bill? All for what? And this is my second part to this debate, and I'm going to come to a lot of your comments in a minute. because I can see so many of you interacting. So big up to you guys. My second part is this: for what? Morgan Rogers to be forced out on the right hand side. Morgan Rogers to be played out of position. Because Asensio has one position and one position only, the 10, the second striker. There was even a quote from Unai Emery. I remember this very specifically last year, doing this stream, or last season, should I say, saying Marco Asensio joined Aston Villa because he was guaranteed the number 10 role from Unai Emery, a position that he's always wanted to play and felt he's played and hasn't had that opportunity at PSG or Real Madrid. So this is my question to the chat, and I'm going to come to you. Is Marco Asensio coming to Villa to start? And if so, what are we doing with Rodgers? And if someone tells me Rodgers wide, then what are we doing? What are we doing trying to kid ourselves that we'll be okay with Morgan Rodgers wide? And number two, if he does come into Villa and he's going to be the backup man or the super sub or Mr. Rotator, then why are we bringing someone in on those absolute joke of a wages? Questions I've posed, questions I'd love people to delve into and give me a little bit of a response. That's what I'd love to hear from you guys. So big up to you guys. Right, let's have a look at what the chat said. Big up. You got the likes of Captain Goose, Brainley, AVFC, Sai, Ross, Mustafa, Conrad. Big up to you guys. Look, let's see what you guys are saying. Paul Johnson, I feel like we'll go backwards if we don't see new blood. Yeah. Brainy said not sure about him. Big up to Stephen in the house as well, one of our newest members. Big up to you, Stephen. Hope you're well. Rogers on the right side then. No thanks. Exactly. Rogers on either flank. No thanks. Rogers in the 10. Yes, please. Rogers behind Ollie Watkins. Absolutely. Marco Asensio pushing Rogers wide right. We've seen that one before. Fatsar was struggling until we got him and Rashford in. We went on a mad run after we got them. It's an easy yes to get Asensio if it works financially for the club. So this is the chat I want to talk with Villa fans. Those of you who keep telling me about the shackles, the restrictions, the PSR, the SCR, why are we going after a player like Marco Asensio then? It's just criminal. It doesn't make sense. It contradicts what people are saying. It doesn't make sense. It feels a desperate ploy again. Conrad said, yeah, PSG would have to cover his wages before I'm saying yes. It makes no sense. Exactly, Conrad, speaking sense. And I don't even want to, and this isn't to be rude, I don't even want half of PSG's wage. I want the 75, 80% of that covered by PSG. They can't find a suitor for Marco Asensio on a transfer or loan. They have to do their bit. But yeah, I'd have him back. Needs a few goals from somewhere apart from Rodgers and Watkins. Yes, that's true. But it does look like we've got Super Donyell Marlin now. Don the man is going to do it. What else we got? We've let a lot of wages go though, balancing at. The thing is though, yes, we've let Coutinho go. But who else? Who else have we actually let go in terms of the wages and the termination? Because Courtney Hawes and Robin Olsen didn't put a dent in our wage bill. Who have we actually let go on the wages side apart from Rashford and Disasi loans in the current squad? And that goes to my point of the second half of this show, which will be, where are the links to take players away from us? I would hate to see us put a player as talented as Morgan Rogers out wide, because we do that, we're in real danger of losing him to another club next season. So Rashford for 100k a week off the books for a start. See, I always find that interesting because obviously with Rashford and Disasi, they weren't our players. Although they did impact the wage bill, it was never a longer term solution on the wages as such because they felt short term. And Man United, I know, covered again a big chunk of that 300k a week. So we need to remember that United did cover those Rashford wages. But ultimately, again, our current squad, where are the wages changing? No, big up to you. Said even Josh, I'll take any player right now. It's getting to that point. That's what I was like with Garnacho. Is at that point. Good evening, guys. Hope you're good. Big up to Freedom Fighter. Roger the 10 shirt already. Agree. Trust the process, Josh. I'm trusting it. I'm trusting it. I am trusting it, but I'm not gonna put the claret and blue tinted rosy goggles on that people seem to be wearing a lot of. Yes, the window shuts in September. Yes, this Aston Villa squad is capable. And the second part though contradicts this. If everyone stays fit, if we don't suffer significant injuries, the percentages of football would tell you that we could be getting an injury or two this season. So what's next? But trust in the process has been probably the most frustrating time as a Villa fan this summer. I can't lie. I swear to all of you, I went into this window with optimism, excitement, ready to cook, ready to come on here and vibe with everyone about what a window we're having. And it's just been the opposite. But I think part of me always knew the moment we didn't get Champions League football, this could have been coming. But I did not imagine it to be this bad. And everyone, I get it, supporting the club through thick and thin, putting those glasses on. I get it because the positivity is true. But we have to have some realness about this. This has been an absolute shit show of a window. We can't sell anyone and we're not bringing anyone. And yes, the consolidation of the squad is fantastic. And we've not lost key players. But we're also not adding any key players and we're not selling any deadwood. Why am I watching Chelsea flog deadwood like it's nothing? Any player from Broha, Carney Chukwuemeka, the bloody guy who's going to Burnley, I forgot his name. Just players like that. Tyreek George, they're just going, yeah, we don't want them, so someone come take them. Please take them. Take our deadwood. Take them. And they've got copious amounts of offers. Where's our Bailey links? Where is our strong, significant Jacob Ramsey bids? How is Emi Martinez only being valued at 30, 40 million and United think is too expensive? Just all these sort of things going over my head going, I don't get it. I seriously do not get it, chat. So it's all you're gonna have top villains and villain content creators who are gonna keep putting this positive on about how good this squad is. It's all on Unai Emery. Unai Emery can do this and Unai Emery can do that. He's our secret weapon. He's like any transfer. I love it. I love that. But I think we've got to start hitting realism here now. The only saving grace against myself is we've still got 3-4 weeks till this window shuts. For me to sound stupid, like I've jumped the gun too early. But as each day jumps in August, and as each day goes on in August, it's closing that window. And I think I had someone with Kevin, I think it was Kevin in the chat, one of the streams the other day. I said, I can give you a fact right now. The fact is Aston Villa have made no significant signings to our starting 11. I can give you another fact. We've signed one first-team player coming in a backup goalkeeper. That is a fact. Now I'm asking anyone in the chat to give me a fact that Villa are going to sign someone. Or give me a fact that we're going to sell someone. You can't. Factually, with under a month to go, we've made no signings. That's a fact. That's not a rumour. That's not gossip. That's not just me putting a negative comment. I'm just dealing with the facts. And so that is why we have to have these difficult conversations. And people are probably bored of it, to be honest. Oh, it's the same shit. But it's real. It's real. Another day goes by and we're not strengthening. I can't understand. We need to reduce wages, but we're increasing wages, though, giving players new contracts. I totally understand why we're giving increased contracts, but not this time. It's all a bit hickledy-pickledy, isn't it? Maybe in the point there'll be a sale of a big player, but who? Is Den Donkey still there? Again, this is my point of the second half of the show. Chelsea get rid of Deadwood. Liverpool can flog whoever they want. We had to rip up Coutinho's contract to just get rid of him. Sorry, please don't come in. What if Watkins goes? Will we have enough time to get? No. Especially if it goes later on in the window. We're going to have to overpay. And this is what we need to realise. We're going to have to overpay for a striker in Europe to replace Ollie Watkins. And I've been saying this for ages. If any of Watkins or Emmy wants to go, please do it now. Just go now. Villa, if you know you are going to potentially sell them, please do it now so we can find a suitable replacement who can get some pre-season friendly games in and come in and try and hit the league with stability. And that's again my gripe. Signings that are going to come in are going to play no pre-season with us. Big up, Les and Jamie. Hope you're well, bud. Hope the back's good as well. I'm surprised we never signed Asensio, especially how well he played for us, because we didn't get Champions League. Asensio didn't want us. Let's get this right. Asensio didn't want us. He wanted Fenerbahce, and that fell through because of his wages. Does Arsenal like 20k Coutinho is? Yeah, it's true. Big up to Super Matty. He says, surely no Villa fan wants Asensio. He goes missing in games and affects Rodgers' development. Hate him being played anywhere else apart from Villa. Coutinho Mark 2 at the Villa. Spot on. That's what I've been saying. It's nonsense. Let's just even take that. So Super Matty as well hasn't even spoken about the financial implications. He's actually just talking about on the pitch. And it's true. If Morgan Rodgers is forced wide right or wide left, then I'm actually going to say this. Let him go to another club where he's going to be played in the correct position. If we're not going to use one of our most talented, raw, best players at 20 years old and not build a team around him, then what are we doing? But we want to build it around a Marco Asensio who started well for Villa and then ghosted big key games for us. Out of possession, ineffective. And that's not even adding the financial things. Big up, Conrad. No problem. I just hope we don't panic buy like we've done in the past and get more deadwood. And look, I know that everyone, even on Super Matty, is such a positive Villa fan. Goes home and away. He will cheer the tune out of Unai Emery. He'll cheer the tune out of the lads. I've never seen this guy say a negative word about Villa. But even into this window, I'm correct in knowing this. I can feel his frustration. I can feel his disdain. I can feel his confusion. This is a person, by the way, who I would say is one of the most positive Villa fans I know. He'll never hear anything wrong said on anyone. He's even defended Robin Olsen today. I was like, that's where Super Matty's been at. I know that he's worried for Unai this season, and I know he's sort of trying to say in a nice way that things aren't great. And this comment sums up. So yeah, I know that. What's the news with Garnacho? Is he coming to us? Possibly Chelsea. He wants Chelsea. I'm not even going to beat around the bush. He wants Chelsea. Enough said. That's the reports. There's every report Jonas saying that. I feel like it's almost like we ain't got Euro. I get it. It's not UCL, but I don't. It just feels different. It feels different. Yeah. Like, okay, let's put it this way as well. Who's excited for the season to start? I think pre-season, I was going into it with hope and optimism. I think pre-season's made it a little bit flat as well. Genuinely, from the heart, who is excited for the season to start? Who cannot wait? I'll be honest, I'm not even looking at the first three games of Newcastle, Brentford, and Palace. I'm just looking at the deadline of the transfer window closing and seeing the state of where we're at. It's going to be that weird that I think the first three games are going to feel like a blur as Villa fans. I feel like they're going to be an absolute blur. Newcastle, Brentford, Palace. See what happens. Can we get through? Will we be okay? And then it's all on that transfer window. What has gone? What has come in? But I think the disappointing, the weird way in which preseason's gone in the US, I think has been weird. The Walsall and Hansel Rostock game sort of, everyone called it a fake preseason. We've now got Roma in a few days' time, and then we've got the doubler on the weekend, on Saturday and Sunday, with no new signings. I don't know. I don't know. For the first time this preseason, this summer, going into the season, This should be one of the most exciting times as a Villa fan, by the way. 3 seasons in a row qualified for Europe in a Europa League. Could be going for a 4th season in Europe. Looking to win a trophy this year. I'm even seeing John McGinn interview comments. I'll get that up in a minute. John McGinn's had an interview with, I can't remember, it was with Tanswell or Townley. John McGinn basically trying to stay uber positive, but also having to bring up PSR and SCR and the unfairness. And it made me think this, whether you agree with me or not, chat. Are some of the Villa players feeling like we do as fans? Flat, lethargic, confused, pissed off, unmotivated? Just a thought. In my opinion, they're professional enough and probably not. But just a thought. Could we be seeing that sort of attitude? Because McGinn's comment shocked me a little bit about the PSR and SCR, which I'll show you now, actually. I'll get that ready. Our defence doesn't prove still, but our defence is terrible. We give away. Even the likes of Ezri Konsa, who I think is our best defender, just the way he gives up the ball when he gets a little bit of contact on him and expecting the referee to give a foul. Just getting burnt like that. Mistakes. And exactly, trusting the process is getting harder as the transfer windows get. And this is from one of the most positive Villa fans I know. And so I've gone early on my thoughts, whether I'm wrong on it or not. But everyone who's trusting Unai says, fine, just let's hope that this guy can do it. Let's hope that Unai can work with the tools he's got. Let's hope his tools are sharp enough. Let's hope his tools aren't going to let him down. And let's hope he doesn't let himself down as well. We'll see. We'll see. We'd be in the Champions League now, and that's the problem. We're bottle drops, and we haven't addressed that issue. Even in pre-season, we're crumbling leads. Not being negative, in fact, to make everyone around us improve on off the field, don't want us to stagnate. Exactly. You want the best. Hate PSI, exactly that. Big up chat. Factually, Monchi's fin sell unwanted players, and Monchi needs to do more. 100 mil for Jackson. Don't bring me. Don't. Imagine the meltdown. Imagine, yeah, they want 80 million for him. We'd get done for 100 mil. Don't imagine. Yeah, one of the last days of the window. Correct. Blame it on Gerard. Yeah, I like that. Big up Valence VJ saying, can we aim for 50 likes? Absolutely run that like button up, people. Appreciate it. But yeah, sorry. Fort Jackson is dreadful. Yeah. Currently, we're short of numbers. Bringing them in adds quality and a rotation option. Just make sure the wages are cheap. Big up to Geordie, tuned for life. Yes, I want to hear perspective of Newcastle. I've just heard the most silly daft comment from Judge Mo saying money is irrelevant. How come the last 8 years the clubs that spent the most on wages win the league? Correct. How come that Pep Guardiola? Okay, let's do this. Let's just show what money is. Pep Guardiola comes to England in his first season. The best coach to ever exist. Gets given a Man City squad where at left back he has Gael Clichy and Kolarov. At right back he has Sanya, and I cannot remember the other fullback he had. Maybe Zabaleta. Basically, all 4 of his fullbacks couldn't play the system that he wants to play. So what did Pep Guardiola do? When he went his first season without winning a trophy, got the biggest checkbook known to mankind and brought in everyone. He bought in and spent so much. He basically ripped that Man City squad apart and started bringing in his left backs, his right backs, his CDMs. He just literally went, I can't be looking at this team. This current Man City team, I've inherited crap. I need to spend a big chunk of money and get the players I want in. So there we go. Truthfully, I'm ready for it to start. We ain't ready, exactly. A fantasy test against Newcastle. That is the only thing that could get us going, I think. A big performance at Villa Park on the first game of the Premier League. 12:30 kickoff. By the way, what a bad time to have our first game of the season. A 12:30 kickoff. Yeah, 12:30 kickoff. a win is an imperative to put behind this voodoo of a window. If we lose and we get thumped by Newcastle, imagine the fan reaction and meltdown. And then we go to Brentford away and struggle. Imagine the reaction. It will all be about this transfer window, and Villa would definitely need to act fast. Paul says, lost the faith, trust process. We're taking too long to buy players. Monchi is a massive question. Loads of people question Monchi. There's worry if we're going to trouble. We don't back Unai, he might walk. Correct. Unai actually might walk away from us and say, I don't believe in the project myself. Unai could say, you're telling me you want to win trophies and you want me to qualify us for Europe, but you give me a shoestring to do it on. It's all doom and gloom at the moment. 11 we can put out on the pitch from now is good enough to get top 4. But if 3 of them get injured, then we're absolutely and I'm not being funny, right? This whole centre-back issue. Bogart. 4th choice centre-back. Ezri Konsa's understudy. There's got to be someone else out there who's a proper centre-back by trade. Because Bogart, as much as I love him, he doesn't want to defend. He's really susceptible to one-on-one defending, not strong enough physically. Yes, he can play out from the back, and that's his comfort. But when it comes to defending, Bogart's got no interest. And that game against Nashville said everything for me. Yes, it's great he's Mr. Versatile. Yes, it's great that Bogart can do this and that. But let's be real here. Bogart as our 4th choice CB. Yeah, no depth is the issue. Not in a million years we're going to panic buy. We have top pros at hand. We'll have to wait until the final weeks, like Emmy expressed in his interview. Who's then? But the problem is with that, Jono, is right. It's like going to a shop. Okay, it's like going to a shop and they've put out the new range of. Let's do this because Heidi loves this pumpkins, right? Heidi loves pumpkins, and they've got these nice pumpkin ornaments. And it's the summer now, which is, by the way, if you go into Home Sense, big up the Home Sense. If you go into Home Sense, they got all the best Halloween autumn pumpkin stock out. And you go, oh, that looks nice. Should we get it now or should we wait? So you wait. And we did this. This was for a summer thing. We wanted to get this cooler from Home Sense, this water cooler. It was a pink one, a very nice one. A nice water cooler to put in the car so you put your cans, your drinks, your ice lollies, right? And on the day when Heidi saw it, I was like, let's just wait a bit. Let's get it another day. Blah, blah, blah. We waited about a month. We go back. It's not there. That pumpkin stuff. I've said, oh, let's just wait till maybe closer to Halloween. You go back to the shop. It's not there. So you have to get another pumpkin ornament that wasn't the one you liked at the start. It's a little bit damaged. They've got not much choice. Oh, my internet crashed out for a second, but I'm back. Pumpkins, trick or treat, that was. A little Halloween thing. That should work. Hopefully we are back. Yeah, internet's crashing out. Bit spooky. Bit spooky. I think we're back. All that pumpkin talk. But yeah, that's my point in the transfer window. This is my point coming back to the transfer window. Okay? We've seen players we like. Sver Nipan, Rodriguez. They've gone to Como. They've gone to Man City. So we're going shopping elsewhere. And then we're going for a little bit of let's go for Garnacho. Oh, wait, he wants to go elsewhere. Do you see my point? You're not going to get the quality that you want in the final weeks of a transfer window. You get who you want at the start. You sew them up, you get them, and that's it. So moral of the story is, if I'm going pumpkin shopping with Heidi, we need to buy the pumpkin right there at the time. You don't wait till the end of the window and get it because it won't be there. So there's my little pumpkin story, which relates to Aston Villa's transfer situation. We're going to end up with the crappiest pumpkin object, broken, dented, the wrong colour, and there we go. Big up the pumpkins. Home Sense, go to it. Josh, this is what PSR. Josh, this is what PSR is. For you, give you a little bit of hope. And it's taken away. Yeah, that's what's happened. I'm wondering who does trust the process. That's where I'm coming to next week. If we aren't there with any signings or any outgoings by next Monday, the stream is who trusts the process. McGinn will see you going to jail for talking bad about PSR. Yeah, it's true. Freedom. Yeah. Flat is a great description. Up the Villa on the plus side. The new kits and new training wears next level. See, I love it because Superman, he knows he's dejected, but he's still trying to put a positive on. We're talking about kits now. And yeah, there you go. We're rejecting the whole team there. You can't judge us off these games. It's true. But yeah, big up Superman. I'd like to be alive when the day comes. McGinn will see. Yeah. One thing that annoys me, we score a goal and sit back for God's sake. Yeah, we don't go and score 4 or 5, do we? I'm waiting for this Villa team to one day just batter someone 4 or 5-0. I thought that was going to be Southampton away last season. We struggled. You know what I mean? Gauchi is the new Olsen. Is there? Bogard is not bad. He's certainly not a centre back. He's certainly not a centre back. Get him in that midfield, yeah, but he's not a centre back. Relying on Mings with his injury record is very risky. That's a great point. Relying on Pau Torres is also very risky because the bloke doesn't want to defend either. I get really, yeah. I'm really worried about our defensive structure and how easy we are to attack against. I really do. Josh, do you have a 0% confidence in our team? The window's still open. Transfers are right before the window closes. Okay, no. I will always back the Villa boys. You're never going to see me cheer Villa to lose. Anyone who wears the shirt, you're going to get my back in, unless you start clearly taking the piss, clearly not having the mindset. And I stand by it. My Matty Cash agenda, or whatever you want to say, I stand by my Matty Cash thoughts. Matty Cash said some of the most outrageous comments after our FA Cup semi-final exit against Crystal Palace. He basically told us to calm down as fans and realise where were we 3 or 4 years ago. How can Matty Cash say that? He actually said, remember where Villa were 3 or 4 years ago, and we've got some fans criticising us. I thought, you little... Yeah. And then to basically admit that they were all mentally weak, going, oh, but it's the first time some of the boys have played at Wembley. Oh, but it's the first time we played a semi-final. Shut up, man. Get out of my club. That's how I feel about Matty Cash. Like, he genuinely triggers me. Those comments in itself trigger me. He actually called out the fan base to tell us to calm down after that pathetic semi-final. I won't forget that. Mentality's wrong. Josh showing his middle class side now, says LeBeau. Oh, with the home sense. Hey, we love home sense. Listen, we love it. Don't get me wrong, home bargains, B&M, the range, top shopping destinations. But when you're going for that little bit of quality on good value, eh? And it's all about that. It's all about the home sense. James says, evening, big up James, big up Black Country Villain. Nick Salter says, I agree, it's all a bit flat. Can see only a couple of loan signs coming, not ideal. Also, my point is to Noel as well. Sorry, said we will sign players in. How do we know that? I know this sounds stupid, but I'm talking off facts. The fact is we've signed one player for our first team as a backup number 2. You guys are all going, but we will sign someone. That's not a fact. You don't know that. We could genuinely do a first and not sign someone for our first team. At that point, my head's going to be a mess. Even I'm, who's trying to stay with facts, is still holding on to hope that we sign. Seriously. I'm not going to lie. I'm really holding on to it. I keep saying Heidi, keep saying Star. I'm going to sign someone soon. I'm sure of it. And then I've got my daughter going, was Watkins staying? And I'm like trying to tell her. She wants to get, right, listen, she wants to get the Villa shirt with Watkins on. I'm telling her, I'm not sure we're going to do that yet until the window closes. Now, you asked me that last season, and she goes, can I have a shirt with Watkins on? I'm going, of course. But she wants a Watkins shirt this season, and this is how unconfident I am that he's staying. I'm telling her, no, because we're not buying a Villa shirt with Watkins on the back, and then he goes in September. But she wants Morgan Rogers on the away, and I'm like, yeah, he's going to stay. Like, that's my confidence in chess. Morgan Rogers, of course you can. Oh, you want Yuri Tillemans? Of course you can. You want John McGinn? Of course you can. Watkins, That's how I feel. Freedom says I have full confidence in the squad because I want to see our boys win. Listen, I'm not here to. Listen, if Villa went and won 38 games this season, I'm going to be the happiest man alive. I want our team to win, but we have to be real. We can't live in ifs, buts, and maybes. We have to deal with the facts. Aston Villa have not signed anyone. Aston Villa have not sold anyone. Aston Villa keep moaning about PSR and SCR. Our captain has even started moaning about it. And then I feel it's gone into our pre-season. I don't care if people are saying I'm looking into this too much. I believe when I watch that Villa team, there is still some sort of mental shackle on us. Whether it's a feel sorry for us, whether it's a we still don't know what it's like to get over life. I don't know. The haunts of that Crystal Palace will be there. We may end up getting Jamie Vardy on free coming in the window. In fact, talking about free signings and standards, do you know how annoyed West Ham fans are that they've got Callum Wilson? And he was a player I'd say, look, desperate times come, I'll take Callum Wilson's backup to Ollie Watkins. Do you know how annoyed West Ham fans are that they've given Callum Wilson a 1-year deal? Basically, Mikel Antonio doesn't know if he's staying or going. West Ham fans are on the ceiling about signing Callum Wilson. That's their standards, and their club's shite. Like, West Ham's like, better be careful, that guy from London's not listening, do you know what I mean? The West Ham are absolutely in the mud. From ownership to stadium, mud. Big up VJ running up the lights as always. Look how crappy we were during the autumn last season. We were like a mid-table team at best. We managed great loans. It saved our asses. Do you know what saved Villa last season? John Duran, the loans, and dare I say it, Morgan Rogers, in my opinion, until Asensio came in. My Cobblers Homeship. Has anyone seen the new Villa store on Bullring? Disappointing. No, but it's something we keep talking about going to visit. We need a winger, 100%. I can't see who we get next ready. DCL, who's back up for? This is what I mean. Go back to the pumpkin analogy. You're going to get one of the worst ornaments. You're going to get like a bogey green pumpkin that's half hanging on by its threads. And then there's that juicy orange one at the start. It said, buy me. That's just spare Nipan. Let's go back to it. This transfer window's gone downhill ever since we lost spare Nipan. I stand by it. I stand by it. Losing spare Nipan was the worst thing. That just set the tone. We'd gone out begging him. We flew out to Norway. We put on a 3-course meal for his family. Apparently, they put on a massive PowerPoint presentation. This is what he can do. Constantly visiting him, agents. And then what happens? Man City go, we're going to go shopping. Sver, do you want to come play for Man City under Pep Guardiola? Yeah, deal. And Villa just sat there going, really? Really? You're just going to be another product that doesn't play. So, yeah. It feels like we are stumbling window to window with no long-term vision. Do you know what the weirdest thing about this? Do you know how weird it is? Actually, when you say that, what's this loan situation about with Costa, with Enzo, with options to buy, with Louis Barry, with Oscar? What's all this loan FC? Some people love Kachi. I'm not having his comments. I remember last season, all anyone could talk about is how we have such good squad depth and the depth is there, but we lose 3 loan players. And everyone ends up, well, we just need a couple of players to be fair. Mac again. How many? You saying a couple? Are we talking the same standard of Rashford and Asensio? Because they did elevate us. I think we need to remember that John Duran left in January. We've never replaced him. Diego Carlos again. We've never really replaced. I hope this is trolling. Good, no. He's never going to be a top player, but he's above average. Yeah, fair enough. I seriously, I can't get on board with Matty Cash. It's going to take a lot to convince me to change my mind on that one. I already know that I'm wrong with Donyell Marlin slightly, but I ain't gonna get hyped over someone in pre-season. That's what I'm gonna say. Leon Bailey could have had a world in pre-season, and then he could go step in the league and be dusty. Back on June 1st, no one would believe that we only signed back at keeper at the start of August. Very worrying, exactly. We couldn't sell Watkins to a window like this. You never know, Ross. You never know. That's my fear. I should be able to, Ross, be like you and say that and say, do you know what? Not a chance do we sell our only striker. I should be able to say that, really. I should actually be able to go, do you know what? The least likely player we're going to sell is our only striker at our club, Ollie Watkins. That should be right up there. Yet here I am, still saying to my daughter, hold on. Let's pause on the Ollie Watkins shirt. We'll buy you the shirt, but maybe we'll wait till the printing's done at the end. And big up to my guy, Vamos VJ, for the super chat. Vamos VJ, Vamos VJ, Vamos, Vamos. Absolute real one, absolute legend, top mod, legend. Why is that frozen? Is my screen computer frozen, chat? Or is that just me? Houston, we have a problem. What's happened? I've frozen. I've frozen. I can't refresh my browser. What is going on here? Right. Sorry, chat. My computer froze. But I think I'm good. It's a spooky night with the tech. We've had the Wi-Fi crash out once and that. I can't be talking about pumpkins and Halloween again like that, can I? Talking of free West Ham, hasn't it gave Antonio contract a free that we taken, Josh? Do you know what? I think that would rile West Ham fans up if we took Mikel Antonio. But I know the bloke loves a big wedge. I know that bloke loves a lot of money. So yeah, let's see. West Ham have won the East Conference League, but Australians, I'm not sure we can call them crap. They're dusty. That stadium's dusty. Their owners are really dusty as well. We've been linked to head to foot from Barca, 30 million bid. If we don't loan him out. I don't know who that player is. If he's real, then we'll loan him out if he's a youngster. Remember this evening, your pumpkin analogy. To be honest, none of us know who's on the spreadsheet or who we're trying to buy loan. Trust and process, less than negativity up the Villa. Jono, I appreciate your comments, man. But I need people like that in the chat as well. I need people to question what I'm saying because it causes debate in a nice way, like Jono. But I also love when people are like, you know what, Josh, we hear you. And then there's some of you who just listen quietly, enjoy the show, and also you're all legends. But yeah, hey, listen, if you disagree with me, this is what I want to hear it. Absolutely want to hear it. Remember that West Ham is always a bit better, big stadium. Correct. Yeah, DCL is a plastic pumpkin, to be honest. He is. DCL is your reduced section pumpkin because it's got cracks in it. It's broken like DCL is. Remember, he's had 18 thigh injuries. He's played about 7 games in 3 seasons, and yet there's still some Villa fans who are trying to tell me, "Oh, DCL, well, it's worth a risk." So, come on, even on a free agent, 100k a week. What are we doing? Once he's going to say he's come instead of doing a job, yeah, that pissed me off. There's big. Do you know what? Actually, you've sort of given me an idea for a stream at the end of this window, and the title is going to be "Where This Window Went Wrong." Sven Nipan, the Monchi situation, all that stuff is adding up. PSR, SCR. Do we keep what we've got and focus on keeping Watkins and Martinez and no buy-in? We shouldn't have to focus on not selling a player. We should have to focus on. I mean, Newcastle are feeling that pain now, aren't they? They've got Isak being an absolute. I can't believe Isak. He's killed his legendary status at Newcastle, and he's been an absolute prick to them. And so Newcastle are now having to focus on that, whether they're making signings. I agree. Do you think Grealish will return? So, Daps from who co-hosts Never a Foul. He's a Man City fan. I didn't watch the stream, but I saw his thumbnail and his title of his video. Apparently, this is funny as well. Apparently, Pep Guardiola has done a U-turn on Jack Grealish. He's put him under his arms and said, "I think there's a place for you again." I wonder if Grealish has won. Do you know what? In fact, I'm going to put this out there. You know, he didn't go to the Club World Cup. What if Grealish was sent away to go and do some rehab? I know I love a theory and less than that. But what if Grealish was told to go away, go find himself, go focus, Go do some rehab. Show Pep that you want to still play at the top level in a World Cup year. What if that was actually part of the plan? So don't come for Club World Cup. Don't go on holiday with all the rest of the Man City lads, because they're on holiday right now because they've just had their Club World Cup. Go do some rehab. Because it's weird. Why would Pep oust him out of a squad that just played in America last month and say he's not part of our plans, to then put his arm around him and go, hey, you're back. Did take Sean Larson from Wolves the second straight, but they probably asked far too much money. True. Kashi annoyed you with his words. Borders aren't the brightest, as we know. Yeah. I think it's in Greece unlikely to come back to Villa due to wages. Yeah, there's weird stuff on Grealish. Man's going to make you eat your words this season, Josh. Top score. Do you know what? That means I want that. I'm actually low key like saying that. I really am. Break the bank. No, so I enjoy these debates, Josh. Up the Villa, absolutely. Apparently, when I froze, I was frozen pouting. That's not good luck, is it? That's not good luck. Yeah, sorry about the freezing. Big at 1874. We need options for our bench. Stoke was offered Matty Cassis and no thanks. I'll give West Ham Wendy and Cass Wan-Bissaka. Wan would be an interesting one. So many great comments. Going to skip down a bit. I don't get a chance to probably like the joke at Garcia in Junior and that Identity's Baron Chair. Point with skin. Yeah, there's been some mad shows. Great show. Got to go early, guys. More in. Big up to you, Jono. British Mick in the house saying, I see us signing someone nobody expected like we did Danny Ings, the last minute deadline deal. We can only hope. If Monty fails to do anything by September, aka the third summer window, he's been here. We need to sack now. Yeah, that's it's getting to those conversations. Rehab. He's not a smackhead. He's definitely an alcoholic. Grealish is a drinking problem. Let's not beat around the bush there. Like the top pros of Man City in Bernardo Silva and Kevin De Bruyne, when they won that treble, they said the thing, and that's why he got ousted. Pep Guardiola looked at him. There was City players got drunk and celebrated. Fine, you do that. And then they did it the next day. Fine, you do that. And then they went on holiday, and you do that. And then all of a sudden, what was happening is that whether the media, whether he's still found with bottles in his hands. He's still over partying, over celebrating. Because let's be honest, that was Jack Grealish's best season at Man City. He smashed it. He smashed it. He was part of a treble winning season in their starting lineup, contributing to trophies. What he went there to do. I think that, in that, I think he has that problem, and I think he needs to that needs to be sorted out of him. That's why he got ousted out. It cannot be for footballing reasons why Jack Grealish got ousted out. One of the most naturally gifted, raw talents, like Paul Gascoigne, you'll see. We pulled off a masterclass transfer window in January of Russian Asensio, but we had Champions League football as a pulling factor, which is why they both came to us, Chris. Without that, what is our pool? What is our pool? What is our pool for getting a Rashford or Asensio in January? What, Europa League? I love this from Meeks. I am here, but I'm currently stripping diesel injectors apart, so can't type much. Hit the like, guys. Love that, Meeks. Diesel injectors. Meeks, my car actually took a small little hit. And it was parked and someone reversed into it, but it's been fixed. But we could have done with your Meeks. No, luckily, there's a mechanic who lives a few doors away, and he's going to fix the car. But yeah, what's Tammy up to? He basically signed for a Turkish club, and I can't remember which one, but the Turkish league's me mad. Right, before I wrap up, I've got one final thing to show you, which probably is bringing my tone back to football is unfair. Have you seen this stuff going around? I've got to find this article now. Here it is. Right, the Darwin Núñez situation stinks of corruption, right? I'm just going to show you this. And it is to do with PSR and SCR. Al Hilal identified Darwin Núñez as a priority target and stepping up efforts to sign Liverpool striker. No bid yet, but interest registered to Liverpool, and Al Hilal plans to push for him. Darwin Núñez is being forced to Saudi Arabia. He has said originally that he never wanted to go there, but now he's being forced that way. Why? Have a read of this. This is what Newcastle become. This is what allowing state ownership of clubs leads to. Mess. PIF majoritively own Al Hilal. PIF are the people who own Newcastle United as well, but they also own Al Hilal. They may sign an expensive player that allows Liverpool to more easily fund purchase of Isak from Newcastle, a club majoritively owned by PIF. And do you know what came out? And someone looked at it. FSG have a link with PIF. The Fenway Sports Group, who own Liverpool, are in business joint and with PIF. It's now becoming a very inbred culture. Doing business with yourself through your cousin, your uncle, your aunt, all that stuff, basically. It's becoming a joke. And the sad state for Newcastle is this, what Daniel said here. I've got to show you this. If we think we've got it bad with PSR and SCR, I think this is an even bigger problem that is out of your control. Newcastle supporters should be furious. They're only part of a nexus of Saudi Arabia's sporting interests, and their position in that food chain has been made to look comparatively insignificant over the last year. Allowing state ownership facilitated this, and it's wrong. Basically, Newcastle with their project, really early project, right? And now they're at the bottom of the chain, and they're being used for business. And the reason why, and Gary said, why are you talking about the clubs? Because it links to Villa, Gary. I wouldn't talk about it if it didn't link to Villa. The reason is because of the following. Number one, it primes Newcastle to receive a large chunk of money to splash it on potentially Ollie Watkins. Number two, it also shows how corrupt. It also shows how corrupt and greedy the Cartel Six are, that it makes it impossible for the likes of us and Newcastle to get near each other. And finally, what it is showing me is we are struggling with PSR and SCR, as are Newcastle. And the only difference between us and Newcastle is that we have stable owners. Newcastle being owned by a PIF is disgusting. Newcastle are absolutely a joke. And that is why I will never want Villa to be owned by a state ownership whatsoever. And as fans, we'd have to boycott that. Now, Newcastle fans are in a predicament here. Do you boycott it? Do you boycott it and your own owners? Or do you back them? The big question. But I don't like it. I feel a little bit sorry for them. And basically, as Meeks said, Newcastle are going to become a feeder club to Newcastle. It's all in there. And I think Toon said this. Josh, John Henry and have done business outside of football for years. Saudi also invest in Chelsea. Fact. There we go. Saudi with Chelsea, with Liverpool. I'm waiting for the Man City and Arsenal. It just makes it absolutely stinking of corruption, impossibility. And where I've been moaning about all the restrictions and everything that is tough and still saying, but I've got standards of Villa, this sort of brings it back down to earth to say, we're fighting against the machine. We ain't going to beat it. The transfer window's broken now. The transfer window runs incorrectly, unfairly, and rigged. We are fighting against the machine, not just in football, also in life. You're fighting the machine. How do you stop the machine? That's a whole new debate. We're going to wrap up. I really appreciate it. Look, we've done well to do 55 minutes on 0 topics apart from Marco Asensio. Like, imagine if we actually had transfer stories to talk about, then we'd have an all right show, wouldn't we? But yeah, no, that just shows a lot of you have got a lot of input in the chat. A lot of you bring really good stories. A lot of you bring really good debates. And again, I wouldn't be able to do these summer shows without you guys because I have nothing to talk about. I even said to Heidi, I'm struggling for content here. So you guys have kept it real. You guys have kept it amazing, and you guys have thoroughly made a great show for me. So I've enjoyed this one. Whether you agree with me or not, there's lots to be said. A good rant, a good discussion, a good debate. But as time goes on, this process is looking stinkier. Freedom Fighter says you're a legend. That's why. Big up to you, Freedom. Backhanders FC. Look at the Super League. Disgusting. 1982. Are you? Unless Villa are signing players, I don't care. Don't mean to be rude, but while we're talking about other clubs, this is a Villa channel. What's wrong with people in this world, man? What's wrong? What's this sort of comment? I'm not being funny, but what's this sort of comment? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? I've mentioned in a 55-minute show, I've mentioned Newcastle for 3 or 4 minutes about how it still impacts Villa. It impacts Villa. You need to wake up to that. It impacts Villa. So what are we doing here? What sort of comments are that? That's a what does it say? He's basically moaned at me. He said, "Unless Villa are signing players, I don't care. Don't mean to be rude, but while we're talking about other clubs, this is a Villa channel. Don't mean to be rude. It is slightly rude. So you are being rude by saying that, basically. Um, so yeah. Pure Venom says, rage bait, ignore it. You can't not talk about other players in the transfer window. Yeah, sorry. Okay. Dare I even whisper? But it's just weird that people actually no. But I think he actually believes it. That's the thing. I think he actually believes it. I don't think it's rage bait. I think it's genuine belief about that. So there we go. So only after crazy. It really does link to Villa. If you can't see what most people in the chat can see what I'm linking to with Newcastle situation, how we can't beat the top 4 because of these disgusting transfers that are happening. Guys, I love it. Who knows what's going to happen? I'm in London tomorrow with the family, so I doubt there's going to be anything unless there's. I'm laughing saying this. Unless there's some breaking news, then I'll put a video up on my phone going, "Breaking news: we've signed someone." A video. But that ain't going to happen. So we'll probably. Justin's broken his bone. We ain't going to sign anyone though. Watch this now. We'll probably sign like the best player in the world. But yeah, so guys, go well. And then it's Wednesday's rumour. So appreciate you all out here. Yeah, sorry, mates. You know what I mean? Chat, enjoy your evening. Up the Villa and all that jazz. And yeah, we signed Jackson. I ain't even uploading if we signed Jackson. Go well. Enjoy. I'll see you all very soon. Smash the like on the way out. Up the Villa. Ta-da.